Hello everyone, I'm going to teach you what we call the basic terms and the common Excel activities. And we're going to talk about those basic things you do in Microsoft Excel. Like we have what we call the cell, and we say the cell is the smallest unit of a spreadsheet, or you can say it is the smallest unit of a workbook, or is a basic unit in spreadsheet analysis. And this is what we call the cell. This highlighted point is called a cell. Then we have the cell pointer. You can see the plus sign you're seeing that is moving around like a cross. It is called a cell pointer. And what is it used for? The cell pointer is a dark bordered rectangle that assumes a cell when Microsoft Excel is executed. You see it? This is exactly what we call the cell pointer, or the mouse pointer as you can tell it. Then the active cell is that cell that is selected at the particular time. Like you can make cell 4, A4 active. It becomes the active cell. Then what is the cell reference? The cell reference is simply the combination of the column label and the row label. Like here we have A1 it is called A1 because the very cell you selected at this point is in the first column called column A, and in the first row called 1. That is why it's called A1. Then we have the active or selected cell. If assuming you select a range, you can still call them the active or the selected cells. That's one thing I want you to note. Then in some application like Microsoft Word, you must have heard of what we call selection, but in Excel it is called a block. You want to select all, just like you see everything is selected. That is what you call block. You want to block everything, you can just come here and click it and everything will be highlighted. That's what we call the block. Then any particular thing you enter into Microsoft Excel, for instance, you enter something like, let's say, accounting. This accounting you just entered here now is called a data, because it is something you entered into Microsoft Excel. That is why it is called a data. And in the course of the values, we have what we call the constant value and the values that are not constant, which are non-constant values. Constant values are values you enter directly. Like if I should enter 34, it is called a constant value. If I should enter 88, it is called a constant value. If I should enter 66, it is called a constant value. But on the other hand, if I should decide to say equal sign, this plus, am I getting it? Okay, plus this plus this, we call this particular one now the non-constant value, because they are in form of formula. When you check at the formula bar, you see how it is being generated. That is why it's called the non-constant value, because they are representing formulas. Now there are some spreadsheet activities that I want us to actually look into, like data entry. Data entry simply means entering data directly as you're typing a data. Okay, let's say for instance I type in, say, high tech computer daily sales. Here now we just entered a data into cell A1. Then if peradventure I want to do anything, I've entered it now. The next thing I will do, each time you enter any data in Microsoft Excel, you press your enter, that is the return key, to confirm that you want it to be recognized as a function. Then we have editing. And in the course of talking about editing, there are too many things that you can do in editing. Editing, you can either make it bold. Let's say I can choose to make it bold. Sorry, bold. Yes, it's bolder. I can change the color. These are what we call editing. I can give it an outline, or I can decide to remove the outline. That's exactly how editing is all about. But first and foremost, before you edit anything, if it is a formula, you have to double click it so that you can actually see the content. Like here now, if I should click once now, I can't edit anything. I can just double click it and automatically I'm given a way to do it. Then in the course of editing, you can also select all. You can do what we call selecting all, or you make use of the block like I said in the previously today. So saving a workbook is another thing I want us to look into. And in the course of saving a workbook, you just come to this bar, what we call the office button, and now click on save. If you don't want to use this option, you can actually say Control S. Once you click on save, something like this comes up, where you now decide the name. Let me say I want to save it with high tech. So I'll now say save. Once I save it now, it has been recognized. Like I said in the previous clip, if you were following, the name will automatically appear that you've saved it. So that's what we call using autofill handle. When you talk about using autofill handle, it simply means when you have series of data, let's say I have 88, 55, 77, and I come here, I have something like this, this, and this. Then I come to here, I now say equal to, let's say sum, let's just make it easier. Sum this through to this. You press it and see, you get the answer. Then the autofill handle is this point. At this point, you hold this point, you drag it down, because the autofill handle helps you to select and generate a result. Maybe you have made your calculation, you want to generate your result, you make use of the autofill handle, and once you drag it, it gives you your answer. That's what we mean by autofill handle. And these things we've just talked about so far is what we call the common spreadsheet activity. In case I will have to revise it a little, we have what we call the cell, which I said is the smallest or the basic unit of Microsoft Excel. Then we have a cell pointer, which is the bolded outline you're seeing on a particular cell that shows that a particular cell is active and ready to receive data. Then when you talk about the active cell is that cell that that is being highlighted at that particular time. Then we have other things that we've talked about. Hope you find this lecture enjoyable and exciting. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more of our lessons, and do have a pleasant day. Thank you.